It began like any other auction, an unpaid storage unit, rust on the lock, dust on the floor. Bidders expected junk, old clothes, broken furniture, maybe something worth flipping. But when the latch snapped and the door rolled open, silence. At first, nothing unusual. Boxes stacked high, chairs under sheets. Then someone spotted the suitcase. Brown leather, worn, ordinary. The winning bidder bent down, popped it open, and froze. Inside weren't clothes, not money, but IDs, dozens of them. Driver's licenses, passports, social security cards. Different faces, different states, different decades. Some yellowed and cracked, others disturbingly new. Laid out, it looked like a catalog of the missing.
Police swarmed the unit. At first, detectives considered fraud, maybe identity theft, but it didn't add up. No wallets, no credit cards, no attempt to use them. Only the IDs, clean, preserved, almost curated, like trophies. The storage paperwork gave them a name, a man in his late 60s, retired, once a long-hauled truck driver. Neighbors called him quiet, polite, the type who waved but kept to himself. Nobody thought twice about him, until now. When detectives ran the first IDs, the shock grew. One belonged to a woman who disappeared in 1987. Another matched a runaway hitchhiker from 1994. A third, a college student, declared missing a decade ago. All tied to different states, all tied to highways the trucker once drove. Suddenly, investigators had a terrifying question. What if these weren't stolen identities at all? What if they were souvenirs? But the man wasn't dead. He was alive, retired, living quietly. And when police asked about the suitcase, his answer was simple. He shrugged, said he bought them at flea markets, found them here and there. But detectives weren't convinced. Too many IDs matched cold cases, too many lined up with his trucking roots. Still, one problem remained. There were no bodies, no DNA, no physical proof. Just a suitcase, just names, just faces. Detectives had the suitcase. They had the names, the faces, the IDs, but no proof of murder. If they were going to take this man down, they needed more. And so the real investigation began. The first step was the evidence. Every item was collected, bagged, logged, boxes, furniture, suitcases, even scraps of paper. With every layer, the picture grew darker. The IDs came first, under blacklight, under powder, under heat, fingerprints, skin oils, fake traces of blood. One license from a woman missing in 1992 carried human blood proteins. Another hid a diner receipt, the very diner where she was last seen alive. Then came the case files. When detectives mapped missing persons against his old routes, a pattern appeared. Every victim tied to highways he once drove. But the most disturbing evidence came from a small box, sealed with tape, ordinary at first glance. Inside were wallets, rings, and Polaroids. Each one matched an ID, each one a frozen reminder of the vanished. This wasn't fraud. This wasn't coincidence. It was ritual. Detectives brought him in. The old man sat calm and steady. He called it ohabe, collecting things. But when asked where the bodies were, he said, "If you can't find the body, you can prove the crime." That line sealed his fate, because now they had his words and the evidence to back them up. Fingerprints, soil samples, fibers, piece by piece, the walls closed in. But the bigger question remained. Why keep them? Why build a museum of the missing?
To answer that, detectives went backward into his past, into his childhood, his father violent, his mother cold. He grew up alone, collecting things. By his teens, the obsession deepened. He stole small items, not for need, but for power. And later the highways gave him cover. Runaways, hitchhikers, people who vanished, each one leaving behind an ID. The IDs became trophies, proof they existed, proof he had taken them away. Decades passed. Families begged for answers, but the quiet trutter disappeared in plain sight until the roads stopped, until he retired, until the suitcase needed a new home, locked in storage, waiting, until the day he missed a payment, until the day strangers opened it, until the day his past was exposed. In court, prosecutors laid out the evidence. Fingerprints, fibers, soil traces, and the Polaroids. Jurors wept. Families got answers. The old man sat still, hands folded, no remorse. When the verdict came, it was unanimous. Guilty, life without parole. For decades, he drove the highways unnoticed. For decades, families searched, and all along the truth sat locked away. A suitcase of trophies, a shoebox of lives, a museum of the missing. In the end, it wasn't the bodies that betrayed him. It was the souvenirs he couldn't let go.